Hi, I'm Darian, the co-founder of Learning Time, and with me I have a special guest.
Hi, I'm Eileen. I'm one of the center directors at Tutor Time International Nursery and Kindergarten.
So there's no right time to begin social and emotional learning, or SEL, but we find that at 2 years old, children begin to experience these very big feelings that they have to learn to express.
Tantrums and meltdowns often are a result of not being able to express those feelings and cope with them. It makes sense because feelings are very abstract. They're difficult concepts for children to understand. It's not something they can easily visualize and label like a ball or a dog.
So we created Emomo to solve this exact problem. Think of Emomo as a bridge between the abstract world of feelings and your child's experiences. Your child can see Emomo's facial expressions change and colors change with each feeling, which they can relate to their own feelings too. So Emomo also makes SEL a lot more playful and fun, which is something that is often lacking in other SEL tools.
A great way to introduce Emomo to your child is through our storybook series and Emomo Plush. There are 3 books which were designed and written by our passionate Learning Time team, which talk about discovering all of these scary emotions for the first time and what each of them are called. As your child gets more familiar with Emomo, they can also use the plush to show their feelings by changing it from happy to sad or angry so that they can also visualize it.
So the reality is, learning to identify and express feelings requires a lot of practice, and it's not enough to just teach our children what they are called. So that's why we created the feelings board. It looks and feels like a game, but it actually allows your child to practice using their words to express themselves. So for example, let's say your child is angry. The first step is actually to identify and name the feeling, so saying, "I am angry." Research shows that doing this step alone can actually decrease the intensity of the feeling. Then they can say how strong the feeling is. So let's say the feeling is a 4. This allows for an additional step of reflection and communication. Sometimes, children like to be alone to calm down, and other times they might want some company. So this next step allows them to choose what they want.
Finally, if the feeling is unpleasant, they can choose a coping method. This is another crucial step as it teaches your child they have alternatives to dealing with their feelings besides screaming or hitting or crying. For example, your child could choose if they wanted to drink a glass of water, hug a teddy bear, or use our calming blocks. These calming blocks are inspired by Japanese Tumi Ishi blocks, which literally means piled rocks. They are great for distracting children and bringing their attention to a challenging yet calming task. A lot of times you can diffuse a stressful situation by simply redirecting your child's attention away from whatever is agitating them.
Of course, your child will also use this feelings board when they have pleasant feelings. So when that is the case, instead of choosing a coping method, they can choose a fun time activity to do instead. So these fun time activity cards are designed to have different conversation starters or just simple activities that you can do in a few minutes. And they're really fun. You can have a laugh with your child, you can spend some time bonding with them, and it's just a great way to connect.
The feelings poster can be used on its own or together with the board. For younger children, we recommend just showing the first 6 emotions, the basic ones. As your child becomes more familiar, then you can teach them more feelings until you expand all the way to the 14 emotions in this kit. Through combining scientific literature, testing with real families, advice from experts, we've been able to make a broad spectrum of feelings that will help your child learn how to identify feelings at this stage and cope with them in the future.
So lastly, we also have our thinking journal. So you've probably seen a handful of mindfulness and gratitude journals before, but these concepts are kind of hard for young children to understand. So that's why we designed this journal to be specifically tailored for young children. The prompts and activities allow them to reflect on their feelings, build a growth mindset, and also open up some really interesting conversations with you.
In our testing, we saw that quite a few parents still feel concerned about what support they would get to start SEL at home. SEL is a really new topic for a lot of people. That's why we've developed a comprehensive parents guide that includes our Building to SEL approach, how to build a common corner at home, and other relevant concepts to begin your SEL journey. It also includes de-escalation strategies inspired by positive parenting to give you additional tools and ideas of what to do during a meltdown.
And to top it off, we've prepared an onboarding video series filmed with Eileen that covers all of the information you need to get started. So whether you are clueless about SEL or already an expert, this kit can be tailored to you and your child's exact needs. So think of our Emomo kit as your gateway into SEL at home. It's a very friendly introduction to these concepts, and once you get the ball rolling, it just becomes that much easier to teach your kids social and emotional skills later in life. And last but not least, we're really proud to announce that with every purchase of our Emomo kit, it actually contributes to our Together Time project, which aims to make SEL more accessible to low-income families. So if you want to learn more about this, check out our Together Time project page.